EnglishTim here. This is part 3 of my Ultimate Fighting Guide for the King of Avalon game. So if you join me now, we're going to start to cover the minutes before you go to battle. So this is the minutes before you start to fight. This is when things do start to heat up, and now it's time to really get ready to go. Any mistakes now can be a lot more costly, so let's make sure we get everything going as well as possible. So what are your objectives? First up, you don't really want to go off into a war and not have a clue why you're there, what you're doing, so just give yourself a basic idea. What are you trying to achieve? So Kingdom Raid, are you going out to try and kill everyone you possibly can, get as many kills and get up to that top 100 and get those extra prizes? Or are you there to get resources to help with your stronghold so you can do another upgrade as soon as possible? If you're going out fighting huge amounts, taking on huge players, there's a good chance you'll lose and get sent home, which means you won't be able to get loads of resources. So sometimes it really pays to know what you're trying to achieve so you don't accidentally find yourself failing in all measures. You get sent home and don't have enough gold to get back, and not enough time to get back, then you can find yourself not in the top 100 and with no resources left. So once you know why you're there, what are you doing, you now can think, okay, it's time to gear up. So there's a lot of things to do. It does vary a little between Lunar and Solar, so let's have a look now. Now city buffs, those ones are fairly easy, so we can take you through those now. There are attack buffs, defense, march capacity, and anti-scout. That's one of the more interesting questions. So if we go to my city now, this is on Solar, so if you go to your city buffs here, you've got the list of different buffs available. Now, Vengeance Alert, that is set by a spell usually, and so you won't be able to directly start one of those from here. Now, Defense, definitely worth having, adds to your stats. Now on Solar, you do get 25% boost, which is worth more than the equivalent boost on Lunar, because your stats are all generally lower, so it's proportionally better. Now, you may have some in stock already, so you can use some of those. You can see I've got some of the lower value ones, or you can spend some gold and start those extra stats coming on. Same for attack. You can get those in the shop here by using gold, or you may have got them from events and the like. Now march capacity. For me, this is the big ticket one. You can make a huge difference to your fighting effectiveness. Now you can get 12 hour and 2 hours, both boosting by 25%, and those are available on the Solar version of the game. On Lunar there is the awesome boost of a 50% march capacity boost, and you can get that from the marketplace in the auction house. So if you get into the auction house, you can find it on for gold. You generally have to spend somewhere between 50 and 150,000 gold at the time of recording this video. You can also get it from the shop event. And now there's anti-scout as well, so again you can spend your gold to get different lengths of time. This will stop people being able to successfully scout your city. It's very handy if you've got something to hide, and that something is a trap or troops, lots of them, or at least you look like you might have a lot of troops there, enough to scare people. If you're a small city and a big city jumps in and you've got anti-scout on, then there is absolutely no benefit in my mind. They're going to just hit you because, wow, you've got anti-scout on, you must have something to hide, and that something is nothing that's going to hurt them, so they're going to smash you immediately. So anti-scout I think is only for the bigger players. Little players I would never suggest using it. It's going to make people want to attack you rather than get them to be scared of what might be there. Now, it's totally relative to how big you are compared to other players. So if you are big compared to other players, if your stronghold level 30 is the biggest in your kingdom, anti-scout's good, nobody's going to attack you, and if you've had all your troops die the day before, anti-scout might well hide the fact that you're actually really weak right now. However, a 30 compared to 20s is strong, so it's all relative. And continuing with gearing up, you then got your equipment. So to gear up, you'll probably do this quite a lot, so I'll just go through this very quickly. A lot of players will have the quick switch for armor, and that is here. You click to switch over from one gear to the other. Otherwise you can manually click on each one and switch it out. Make sure you are wearing your war gear when you go to war. If you've got your farming gear on, it's extremely costly. You'll generally have weaker gemstones. You'll also have much weaker stats when fighting with that gear on. Lord Talents, you've also got a quick switch option once you reach VIP level 12, so not everyone will be able to get there, but it's definitely worth striving to get there. So if we go to the game now, that is in talent points, and we've got the options here. So the quick talent switch, you can keep one set up for fighting and one set up for farming. And if you don't have that available, you can always reset your points. So there is a reset points option here, and you can get hold of these reset points in the Spy Loot store. So quick check on that now. Now this is on Lunar. And here's your Lord Talent point reset. And on Solar, it's in the same store, but it's much more expensive. It's 700,000 crystals, so much more expensive switching talents. So you want to be careful about switching them if you're only going out to fight one person and it's not a major deal. Is it worth spending those 700,000 crystals elsewhere if you're on Solar? Then you've got Draconic skills. So if we go back to the game, let's go back to the Solar version of the game. And if you go to skills at the bottom right here, then you can have different setups for your different stones. So I keep one which is focusing on resources, and then you can have another one focusing more on fighting. And once you've set up your best one, it'll give you hopefully your highest level Breath of Fire. Don't use that until the last second, it's only good for 30 minutes. Yeah, this is a great way of bumping extra damage, and the higher the level of your dragon stones, the more quality you get on that. Now, just as an aside, there are more ways that you can tweak the dragon stone skills. So if you go to Dragon here, and if we go to Draconic, you can see the current stone set up here. And if you go to your Draconic skills, you can see what you've currently got activated. So you can play with your stones to try and activate more of these. Note that the benefits here, 20% on each of these stats, 20% here. You may find rejigging your stones, you actually get lower level of stats here than the benefit you get from retwigging these to get this skill. So play around with it, see what's your best version, and try and maximize your Breath of Fire if you're about to use it especially. Then that can be a powerful way of getting extra kills. And you also have Draconic Ore, so again check out the elemental requirements and play with your stones to try and get the best combination for you when you're playing. And you've also got the Dragon Shadow, so if we go back to the game, and now if I try and send out a march with no dragon home, you'll see you have the option here to summon a Dragon Shadow. They are quite expensive, however on the Solar version of the game they do have a 1 hour version which isn't currently available on the Lunar version of the game. So $4.99, that's probably $6-7, something like that. So it's still quite expensive, however it's a powerful thing if you've got lots of troops and you want to send out multiple powerful marches simultaneously. It may be worth considering. You can also win these on various events if you score very highly on those events. So that is the first part of my minutes before you fight. I was covering gearing up. In the next part, in the minutes before you fight, I will be covering what you can do with your hero council, so please join me on that video. If you've got any questions or comments, please put them down below. Otherwise you can catch me on Discord, and I am EnglishTim #2230, and you can send screenshots, more detailed information on that service. Otherwise, if you do enjoy my content, please do click on that subscribe button and on the notification bell to receive updates about my future videos. It does help support me and help encourage me to start creating more content. And if you are enjoying it and you feel like you'd like to donate directly, then there is a link in the description for how you can do that, and that is much appreciated. So next part up, Hero Council.
King of Avalon, play now.